everyone. Today, a look at a book that I have been anxiously awaiting that was some time in coming to me. And this is going to be just the first look at this book, which I believe is going to require some additional attention once I begin to use it and become more familiar with it. But I did want to get this sort of unboxing and initial look video recorded and put out there for those who may be looking for a video review of this book. This will not be, again, a complete review, but more of a unboxing and first look. So I took care of the unboxing there at the beginning. Nothing too exciting there other than the packaging was really cool. I had seen other photographs online of this, and that it really is a wax seal that they've impressed on there. And we have this label from Whithorn Press thanking me for my support of the Anglican Office Book. It has the names of, looks like Father Brian Foose, executive editor. I assume I'm pronouncing that properly. And Lance Davis, of course, the editor of the Anglican Office Book. This is the second edition. That has been some time in coming. Have some information here on the label. We hope the Anglican Office Book will help you worship God in the beauty of holiness. Sales from this project help provide a classical Christian education to many young people, etc. Thank you for your support. Very nice. Also, very nice attention to detail in the packaging and the presentation here, which I certainly appreciate. But let's get to the main event. Wow. I mean, it is a looker. This book is a looker. Anglican Office Book, Holy Bible, bound together. Whithorn Press, same symbol as in the, as in the wax seal, which I assume is a symbol for Whithorn Press. Beautiful all the way around, that gold imprint, which if it's like other prayer books that I have used, it will not stay as perfect as it is right now. We have kind of a faux leather material. It feels very nice in the hand. This is textured, this inlay. We have kind of pressed in a little bit these hubs. Very nice, a wine or mahogany color. Not very good at naming the colors, but that's what I would say. We see we have some attractive gilding around the edges in gold. It appears to be just gold, no underlying color there. I haven't properly broken this in, so I feel like I'm doing violence to it if I just get right into it. So I'll do a half-hearted breaking in of this book. Already I can see the print may be smaller than what I find ideal, but the paper appears to be very nice and white. It's got to be thin paper for as much as they have crammed into this. But so far I'm not seeing, well, you can see some show through there. We'll get to that in a moment, but it doesn't appear to be too bad. Not as bad as I was expecting. So what we have here is the Anglican Office Book, which many may be familiar with, providing the liturgy for the daily office for Anglicans. And this is in a very Anglo-Catholic vein, is my understanding, and modeled on the 1928 American Episcopal Prayer Book, but also includes the entirety of the King James Bible, New Testament and Old Testament, with apocryphal books, excepting the Psalter, which is already in the book as a freestanding Psalter, presumably in the Coverdale version as it is found in the 1928 Episcopal Prayer Book. I'm going to eventually be taking all these ribbons out, I think, as I go through it, because it's going to bother me if I don't. So let us do first things first. We have kind of a paper liner here and paper cardstock, black cardstock on the first page. Take a look at the corners if that is something that you care about. Anglican Office Book, 2nd edition, 2023. First impression, 2021. Charles Lance Davis, 2023 is the copyright holder. And already we are seeing what makes this book stand apart. One of the things that makes this book stand apart, the inclusion of these beautiful lithographs, works of art that can be found within title page here. Divine Office according to the American Book of Common Prayer, together with the Holy Bible. These pages are going to stick together because, again, I have not opened this yet. There's some introductory material here. Most Reverend Dr. Mark Haverland, Archbishop. Right Reverend Dr. Keith Ackerman, Bishop of Quincy. If I'm mispronouncing names, I apologize. You can see the table of contents. I will attempt to slowly look at that so my poor camera can get a good look and you can see the table of contents. So we can see they've laid it out in a way that's intended to be kind to the binding, is my guess, was the intention here. So that's the entire table of contents here. So first comes, after the preface and such, the Old Testament. Then we have the calendar, general rubrics, psalms and lessons for the table of lessons and such. The litany, looks like the prayer book portion then is after the Old Testament. Matins, they include prime, terce, sext, and none, and evensong, as well as morning and evening prayer. Those things in addition to evensong and matins is what I was trying to say. So prime, terce, sext, none, and compline. They have a section unlikely to be used by me, but maybe beneficial and useful to some. Anthems of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Propers of the seasons come next, and then towards the end we have the New Testament and the Apocryphal books at the very end. So you're not, if the daily office portion, matins and evensong and such were at the beginning, you would be wearing out that portion of the binding much more rapidly than the Old Testament, which you're going through once a year. See if I can give some indication of the size of the type. Let's be international here, even though my ruler has seen better days. Let's see if you can get some sense of the size of the type here. You can see verse numbers and chapter titles and such are in red. Chapter numbers, that is, are in red. We have the book and chapter at the top of the page, and the page numbers based on what portion of the book you are in. So Old Testament 159. So they have removed the book of Psalms from the King James Bible and you would use then the Coverdale Psalter that you would normally find in a Book of Common Prayer. So here we are at the calendar. General rubrics. I'm not going to spend too much time on any of these things. I believe I had heard that the calendar, the table of lessons, is that found in 1928 American prayer books. I will do a comparison later on, giving more detail in that regard. So I'm not certain on that. I will check. It's set up the same. So it looks likely to be the same. Ribbons. Did I mention the ribbons? Sorry, I'm skipping. I believe there are 10, 3, 6, 9, 10 ribbons in various beautiful, lovely colors. Looking for more of that artwork. We have some drop caps or illuminated initials there. In the prayer book, that was in the order for Matins, morning prayer. The red here is a dark and not overly stressing on the eyes. The print in the prayer book portion and the office portion is significantly larger than that found in the Old Testament and presumably the New. Yes. Which, by the way, the rubrics appear to be in red, which is wonderful, and the words of Christ are in black, also wonderful. That is my preference. Red rubrics, black text in all of Scripture. A lot of saints' days, it appears, that maybe would not have been included in the prayer books of 1928 or 1662. The Cranmerian prayer books that maybe were added back in. Some of that artwork you can see there. Just kind of skipping around during this cursory first look as I get acquainted with it, and maybe you can get a little acquainted with it. But I will look more closely at the contents. Okay, so they've included table of lessons from 1549 and the lectionary of 1962. Additional canticles in this section. Interesting. So let's look at so the Apocrypha is in the same typeface, it appears, as the Old and New Testament. And after the apocryphal books, there are some acknowledgments. And then, may Our Lady of Walsingham, St. Dunstan of Canterbury, and Blessed John Mason Neale intercede unto the Lord our God for all who prayerfully use this book. Not something I normally find in my Book of Common Prayer, but I don't find it too objectionable. I don't know if I got all the ribbons out. I don't think I did. Do a little comparison here before I wrap up this brief introductory video. Gosh, just look at that though. What a beautiful book. Just fantastic. Let's do a little comparison in size so you get a sense of this. It's very much a handbook, but a thick one. Really thick one. So here has been my go-to prayer book for some time, much of the last couple of years. The International Edition, you can't see it anymore because it's worn. International Edition from University Press of the 1662 Book of Common Prayer. Also very much a handbook and thick, but you get a sense for the relative size here. I added the ribbons to the, well, 3 of the ribbons to the International Edition because it did not come with any. I see one ribbon that I neglected to free up. Let's get that squared away. Okay, so size difference here between the InterVarsity Press 1662 and the new 2nd edition Anglican Office Book. Man, those ribbons just look terrific, don't they? Terrific. When you produce a prayer book and you equip it with enough ribbons, that's a win. Let's grab something kind of random here. Here's a classic thin line from Crossway, English Standard Version classic thin line. Has been used by me over a number of years. Not really my go-to Bible now, but I did use it for some time. And you get a sense for the thickness of this book over the thin line. Of course, the other dimensions are quite a bit reduced. And a book that I foresee comparing this office book with, which is more in the same vein, Divine Worship Daily Office, sent to me by Ryan. Thanks again, Ryan. Another wonderful, wonderful prayer office book. This one much more well used, and I predict this one will get to that point. Let's just take a look here and compare them. Divine Worship is taller and broader across. They are similar in thickness, both gilded and gold, though you can tell this one has been worn from use. There are the spines. You can kind of see the comparison there. That's really a more apt comparison than the prayer book. Divine Worship, the benefit to this, of course, is it also includes all the readings, the lessons, Old Testament, New Testament, etc., and they are laid out in order that you would encounter them in the calendar. So very, very simple to use. Let's do a comparison. So here we are in the, this would be the epistle reading in Divine Worship Daily Office. Let's take a look at a page from the epistles in the New Anglican Office Book and just get a sense of how the size of the type compares. Not all that different. Anglican Office Book, I will say, comes across very much more bold. The paper in both is about equal, I would say, in terms of show through. Both had to use very, very thin paper. You can see the difference in the two books here. The Divine Worship has the calendar day, or the day that the lesson is for, at the top, Monday after the second Sunday after the Epiphany, while in the Anglican Office Book it's just the text of the King James Bible, and you would just flip to the section you were reading that day. It's not laid out for you in order. It's just laid out as a normal King James Bible would. So text seems to be similar in size, although darker and bolder in the Anglican Office Book. And you can see the size comparable, but the Anglican Office Book smaller in 2 dimensions and about equal in height, in thickness, that is. So sorry, I keep banging the camera there in my excitement to bring this to you. If you haven't already ordered a copy and you are so inclined, I can't imagine why you would hesitate. Well, yeah, I can imagine why you would hesitate, but gosh, what a beautiful book. tremendous work on that. I am looking forward to getting into this, and I will bring a more thorough review when that happens, as I get into using it for the daily office and just compare it to divine worship, which I have been using for a while now and gotten more used to. So look forward to that. If it's something that would interest you, I will delve more fully into this book. But I wanted to get, again, just a quick first look at it so those who haven't held a copy in their hands would get some sense of what this book is like. It's a magnificent book. So thanks for sticking with me through this, what was intended to be a very brief unboxing and first look. Went a little longer. I'm going to make it even longer now. Give you the actual dimensions: 4.5 and 6.25, something like that. And this fat boy is about almost 2 inches thick. There you go. More to come, so stay tuned. The Anglican Office Book, second edition, that includes the King James Bible with apocryphal books. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you here again next time.